Hey guys, and welcome back to the Money Game with AC. So AMC closed again today at 10.21, losing 1.35%. This is starting to get, I know, boring per se. Yes, and some of us are starting to feel really tired of holding. But guys, in this video I want to go quickly over three main catalysts that I see that can potentially that are fresh. They came out today or yesterday and potentially will give you a little more hope into continue to hold for AMC, because they will potentially push the price of this share to the uptrend. So let's get into it. First of all, guys, I do see, if you look back to the 1 month chart, we are starting to consolidate around $10, which is not bad. Actually, it is good, because if you look back at the 6 month chart, whenever there was a consolidation like here we had at 550, it was usually followed by an uptrend. Consolidation a little bit, a short one, uptrend, and then we went all the way back to 14, came back down, recovered, and then consolidating right now at 10. So if we do follow the chart, it seems like we may, be followed by another uptrend right after this consolidation. So there is two articles I want to go over with you now that may potentially bring the price of AMC upper, especially tomorrow. So first of all, the temporary supplementary leverage ratio changes to expire as scheduled on March 31st. This was something that was put in place in May 15 of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, in order to give some leverage, to give kind of a line of credit to, depository institutions, so big banks, hedge funds, to provide credit to households and businesses in light of the COVID-19 event. So they were using this money in order to inject into the economy in order to push the economy back up on track, which some of the hedge funds and the big banks and the big firms use that money to buy the dip into the stock market. But some of those use that money to short companies like AMC. Okay, so the fact that this rule is expiring today, as a matter of fact, at the close of the market, which is now, it means they'll have less money to use in order to continue to short AMC. So it means that either if you don't abide by this rule starting tomorrow, they will be forced to liquidate some of the positions, either partial positions, either all of the positions. I don't see all the positions happening, because depending on the amount of money they have, they won't just fold easily like that. So at least they will be forced not to use the same amount of money in order to continue to push the price down, which consequently will end up, pushing the price of AMC up. It won't go back all the way to 15 or even 20, but at least we can see something bigger than 10. Not maybe by this week, but strong chance for next week to happen. Now, this is always hypothetical, given that there are a lot of dark activity happening behind what we can see as retailers, investors. The other thing I want to share with you guys is the U.S. Secretary is now reviving a regulatory group in order to start monitoring hedge fund activities. So yesterday in my video, I shared with you guys that the SEC started looking into hedge funds activity, because those hedge funds, they use tens of billions of dollars, sometimes even more, as we saw with Archegos Capital Management, in order to either buy stocks, or short stocks, since shorting it's a strategy to make money to the stock market. But the fact that they use such amount of leverage, it might be detrimental to either other investors, especially the retailers like us, because we don't have the same capital power. But it might put a systemic risk, meaning if they do fail, if it doesn't work out as they plan, then there might be some consequences in the stock market affecting other people as collateral damages. So the more light we have into these guys, the more light from the SEC, from the U.S. Treasury Secretary now, monitoring the hedge funds, the better it is for stocks that are heavily shorted by hedge funds like AMC, just because, at some point it can end up on, major actions that will either force them to reduce their positions or to completely get out, which will cause, the price of those stocks to skyrocket. So before ending this video, I want to draw to your attention, guys, something I found on Wall Street Bet, Reddit. This was posted there today. And it seems like a screenshot from Fintel, you know. So BlackRock today bought through 3 different ETFs and yeah, 2 different ETFs, almost 10,000 shares of AMC. We have the US Media and Entertainment ETF right here. We have the iShares from the Russell, and then we have the high shares from the total US stock market. Index fund investor A. So BlackRock, big investor, big investment firm, and through these ETFs, they bought AMC. And then besides that, we do have, let me reduce this so it will be easily. All right, so yesterday, that was Goldman Sachs through another fund who bought almost 12,000 shares, more than 12,000 shares of AMC. So I haven't checked this information yet on Fintel, even though from the screenshot, it looks like, you know, the ownership institution from on AMC. But it won't surprise me if this is legit, because back in February, Goldman Sachs made a price target, give a price target to AMC at $30, you know, because when we did reach 25 intraday and $20 at the close, you know, they really believe that there were upside potential for AMC to go back to $30. Now, this might be also another marketing tool, because AMC is still among the top held, you know, retail stocks in the US right now. And yeah, so they may be using this. If you see, for example, BlackRock here using this US media instrument, they have to buy AMC. You know, it's a media. You know, it's one of the biggest media in the US. So this might be another marketing tool that they use in order to attract more investors, and they will test the market to see how these things may be playing out. Now, on the other hand, the fact that AMC is being part of this ETF that they bought and they added some shares, banks, they don't play lotto. You know, whenever they put foot into something, into a company, whether they buy stock, you know, they are in for a huge potential. Even though, you know, this is a small amount of shares, I still think they wouldn't, you know, have this if they didn't think that AMC had at least some kind of, as little as it is, you know, upside potential, at least for the coming months this year. So that to say, guys, if you're tired of holding, if you feel like this is starting to get boring, guys, remember that these things can potentially push the price of AMC upper. It may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next week, but guys, GameStop didn't squeeze after 2 months. This whole thing started in February, so it won't happen after 2 months. It may take some more time, but guys, it will happen when it happens. The facts are backing up that there is a strong chance for AMC to squeeze. So hold on, guys, if you can afford to. That's what I'm doing as this. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.